What would it sound like if Beethoven wrote für Elise in 2025? Before we begin, I just want to mention that you can download sheet music for this arrangement on my Patreon. It's free to become a member and the sheet music is free. And if you like what I do, consider becoming a patron. I often post sheet music on there. I've posted quite a few tutorials on there already. And yeah, your support means a lot. Let's get into it. So we're all familiar with für Elise. It's probably one of the most famous piano pieces ever written, and definitely, you know, one of Beethoven's most well-known pieces ever written. I mean, he's got a few, but für Elise is right up there. So that's the first section. So what I was going for with my reharmonization is a kind of a subtle reharm, using chords that share a lot of common tones with the original harmony. So the original harmony, we have 1, which is A minor, going to 5, the E7, back to A minor. And this works really well. You've got, you know, the 1 chord, you've got tension and release. And it's great. But if we're going for a more modern kind of vibe, we have sort of chord motions that aren't really tonic dominant related. So what I went for was, on the first chord, I still did A minor, but then I went immediately to this F major 9. So if you look at the notes, I'm still playing A minor, but I'm just putting an F at the bottom, which then gives me this F major 7 sound. And I also add the 9th over here. So, and then on the next part of the melody, instead of going to the dominant right away, I went to this G, add 4, you could call it, right? I'm kind of thinking of G7 with a 13, but I have this C instead of the B over here in the middle. You'll notice that my software says C sus major 7, add 3 over G. I mean, yeah, you could call it that, but that sounds overly complicated. I'm thinking of a G13 chord, right? With an added C. That's how I'm thinking about it. So it goes, and then we went here to a D6-9 chord. So you've got D major, a G major triad, add the 6th, and then add the 9th. And I just had the 6th as the octave at the top, which is the melody. Okay, so we were. And you'll notice this really big spread in the left hand I have here, breaking up the triad, which gives the chord a nice full sound. If you can't reach this, just roll it. And then to finish off, we have, that's the part of the melody that goes back to 1, right? And that's what I still did. I kept that motion from the 5 to 1. Although, right after that, I go into a little bit of a groove here. So I go... So this groove is based off of, I'm thinking of like an A minor 7 going to an A minor 11, but, or an A minor 9 sus4, you would technically call this because there's no third. But the thing is, I'm really thinking of two triads in my right hand, a C major triad and this G triad over an A. And you can just groove with that. Right? And then I kind of turned around this. I made it da 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 da. Almost taking a bluesy sort of inspired approach from the blues scale, the A minor blues scale. Okay, that takes us back to the first chord. And then the same thing again. And then to harmonize the melody at the end, which is again this E7 going to A minor, the 5 going to 1. I just played the C along with the chord. The melody is essentially the sharp 5 of this E7, which would be E7 sharp 5. The software says C major 9 sharp 5 over E. I would just think it's just E major, it's just E7 with a sharp 5. It's just to do with the way I'm voicing it that's making the chord symbols show that. So back to the F major, and then we end with a little 4 going to 5, 4 major, which is D going to 5, E. And the crucial part of this sound is the way it's voiced. The triad that is spread out like this, instead of just, we have the third here on top, going to that E. So now for the next section, which goes like this in the original composition. I went to this F major instead of going to the relative major, which is C. I went to the F major 7. Right? And then I worked in a little bit of a counter melody, you could almost call it. That leads us to the next chord, this. So we have da, 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 da. And then right, so that part of the melody. We went A back to A minor to D7. And then for the last part of the melody in this section where it goes, and then it would usually go. So this is where I went sort of a little bit crazy, not crazy, but I went a little bit more out there with the reharmonization. When we land on this C, I harmonize this as a C9 sharp 11. So there's your C7, I've got the third, then the flat 7, then I've got the 9th sharp 11, and the melody note, which is the root C. Okay, so we were here. We land over here now. And then a little bit of chord movement before the last part of the melody, which is, so the chord movement here goes down a whole step to a B9 with a B flat 9 with a 13. And then after the B flat 9, we we go down another half step to this A7 with a sharp 9, sharp 5. So here's the chord A7, you got your root, your 7, the third, and then we have the sharp 5, I have the root again, and then this C, which is the sharp 9. So it goes, and then for the last part of this melody, which goes, I harmonize this D as the sharp 11 of this A flat 7 chord. Okay, but I'm not playing the third with my right hand, I'm playing this, playing the sharp 11 here as well, doubling the melody. And then I'm playing the 13, playing the 13 here as well with my right hand, and the 9th with my right hand. So I've got, and the name that the software is putting out there is F sharp major 9 sharp 5 over A flat, which is too complicated for me to think about. I'm thinking it's an A flat dominant chord, and I'm playing a B flat shape over it, B flat major triad over this. That would be the correct naming of the chord, but I didn't like the C, the third. I guess I could put it over here, but I didn't. I just played this. So it's an A flat 7, right? But with my right hand, I'm playing a B flat major triad, which gives me this sound. I'm just leaving out the third, so I have this. And then where the melody ends, on this B, I'm playing the dominant chord of A minor, E7, but not really though, because I'm playing the dominant chord, an E major chord, over a G7, which gives us a G13 flat 9. So here's the dominant chord, G, F, B, root, 7th, and 3rd. Then I add the 13, flat 9, and then I just doubled the 3rd at the top because that's the melody. Alright, so all of that hectic harmonization from the beginning, it goes. Right, so when I play this, I just do a little flurry up this E major arpeggio and then hit a low G just to like give it some suspense before we go back to the first section. So it goes. And then we go back to the beginning. And right at the end I do another chord substitution, a classic substitution known as the tritone substitution. So I'm substituting this E7 for a B flat 9 with a 13 going to A minor. So instead of going, we're going just a little bit more tense or surprising sound. Back to the F major 9, and then I end it open-ended with that same whole step major triad move, the 4 going, major 4 going to the 5. And then I did not resolve it, which is very unlike Beethoven. Very not classical music, because you would want to hear this, but I thought it was cool to leave it open-ended. You can resolve it if you want to. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. And again, the link to the sheet music and my Patreon in the description. If you liked the video, drop it a like. If you love the video, then consider subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.